What's up? Welcome back to Unfiltered Perspective. As you can see on the screen here, I got Chris Broussard, Rob Parker, and their show, The Odd Couple, which I tune in every time they have a interesting video. I tune in a lot. I find their radio show, their podcast, whatever you want to call it, I find it very entertaining, especially when they go back and forth and start arguing like two old dudes. I don't agree with everything that either one of them be saying, but I like the arguments. I like some of the topics that they'll touch that the mainstream media won't touch. And I like some of the ways how they'll go into different things. But nevertheless, as you see here, they're talking about the Lakers drafting Bronny James, which has been the stir of the media, the social media, the sports media for the past week and some change. And they have the Pelicans color analyst, I couldn't get that word out, Antonio Daniels. If you guys remember, he was a part of that Spurs 1999 championship where they played the Knicks. He was just an average role player. He really didn't add too much to it. But that's what they have here. They're going to go back and forth about this Bronny James situation. Of course, Rob, he don't agree with it. Chris, as it has came out maybe about a couple of weeks ago that he's on the payroll, quote unquote, with Clutch, allegedly. So we kind of already know where they're gonna go. If you watch this show, if you know any of these persons, then you already know kind of where their takes are gonna go when it comes to certain subjects. So this is gonna give me a chance to give my thoughts on the Bronny James being drafted by the Lakers situation. So I'm gonna let them talk, and then we'll see.
Let me ask you about JJ Redick and what he has to tap dance around with the Lakers, with Bronny, with him getting his job. Because he,
And that's another thing. This whole JJ Redick issue too. I haven't even said about that, but for them to even think that LeBron had nothing to do with it, this like they really think people slow, and people in the media really think that they can just lie to people, and that's another subject. How people in mainstream media just really think that they can lie to people, and people are just going to take it, and there's no repercussions for it at all. And then when things come out later down the line, let's say 5, 10 years later, it's like, oh yeah, LeBron did have something to do with that. He was behind the scenes the whole time, on his Godfather type shit. Like, come on, man. It is like it just go by the wind because it already been went through. There's no uproar. But this whole JJ Redick thing is a joke. This whole next year, the Lakers, this coming up year is gonna be a whole circus, man. A whole circus. I can't wait to watch it though. I ain't gonna lie, it's gonna be entertaining.
ain't got no sneakers on. It's all tap dancing, and it's a tough spot to be in. But what'd you make of Bronny getting a 2-year guaranteed contract? I mean, it is what it is. But you haven't seen that though, have you? I mean, no, you haven't. Okay, that's no, you haven't. Just like, but it's a lot that we haven't seen, bro. My issue isn't with what's going on with Bobby. My issue is the fact that they just won't own up to it. There you go. I said that earlier.
Before he chime in, of course they're not going to. They're concerned about how they're perceived, especially LeBron. Everyone knows LeBron wants to be like he want to be this dude behind the scene that you know use I don't want to say nefarious, but more so Machiavellian tactics to get things that he want. But in the media, he want to be perceived as this nice guy who don't get into management dealings, who don't deal with acquisitions of stars and role players to the teams. When everyone knows he's the GM, everyone knows he gets to say so in everything. Every acquisition, the coach getting fired. Is LeBron is in charge, man, and to a certain degree, there's nothing wrong with that because he has gained the cachet, the power to do that. But the mistake or the issue that people have is that he tried to act like that's not the case when clearly it is the case. All the signs really point to it.
What are they I said that earlier. What are they supposed to say? We did this for LeBron. No. Here's the thing. But I'll give you an example. So listening to the press conference
And Chris know what the fuck going on, man. Chris be trying to act so coy to what actually is going on, but Chris be knowing what's going on. He know the real with Braun. He just don't keep it real. Again, he's allegedly on that payroll. He stated it, like I said a couple weeks ago, that he's represented by Clutch, and anyone that's represented by Clutch, it has shown that they only are able to speak a certain tune or sing a certain tune when it comes to LeBron. It can't be no objectivity, and if it is, it ain't nothing to cut that bitch off.
Yes, thank you. Considered more around the second round pick than around their first round pick. Thank you. Right. Okay, so that's one thing. And like a reporter today asked the question to JJ Redick. And what JJ said, he defended Bronny, saying, Bronny worked his tail off to get here. Nobody asked. Now with checkers and rallies. Brisket on a burger. The new barbecue brisket melt for $3.49. Nobody asked that. But it's okay to admit. Like, I'm not saying that they can come out and say the only reason that Bronny's on this roster. Right. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. But listen, we know what this is. Right. It's disingenuous. Antonio, that's what it's disingenuous. But
It is disingenuous, but come on, Rob. You already know what it is, man. LeBron has been moving disingenuously for a long time. Ever since he came back to Cleveland, everything has been about him. He's one of the most narcissistic superstars in sports history, really. Just with the way how everything has to be about him, and it can't be about anyone else. He can't get any blame. It has to be nothing but praise, praise, praise. It really goes into the idol worship of these superstars. But with LeBron, it's to a whole nother level, man. You got guys in comment sections saying this is my king. Mike, like what the fuck is that? What type of man is calling another man my glorious king? Like what type of time we on now? Like even grown men saying this. Like what is going on in the world?
JJ Redick. But Rob, it's okay. And that's the part that I think that they need to understand. It's okay. Nepotism, whatever you want to call it, whatever adjective you want to use, this is not the first time this has happened this morning. No, let me do respect. You know it's rampant in the No. But Antonio, here's my issue. This is the opening of a Pandora's box from the standpoint, and you're right. Front office, when we talk about on the field and earning your spot, Antonio, as a guy who made it to the NBA, who had to put in all the work, you know in the locker room the guys who belong and the guys who don't as players. And once you do this, don't tell me that owners now can't put their nephews on the end of the bench no, I'm serious. And other people.
I disagree. See, this is my issue with Rob. Rob would have a very strong stance against a certain thing, but then his facts of what he used to try to substantiate that just be so weak. It'd be so easy to destroy that argument. It'd be so easy to destroy that argument. Because he's right. This does opens a quote unquote Pandora's box to what's allowed. Because anytime you allow for one thing to happen, well then it's like, okay, well maybe we can do this, maybe we can do that. That's why people have issues with the LGBTQ movement that's going on, where you got these trannies wanting to read to your kids in the library. So it's like, damn man, what's next? One first you want them reading in there, like what they gonna be like? What this can only go so further down the line. Like it got to be a stop somewhere. So I believe it does opens a Pandora box. LeBron has been Pandora for a long time when it comes to opening up new things to the NBA. In my opinion, LeBron has really been a detriment to the NBA when it comes to its competitive nature, when it comes to um interest into the game. LeBron has just been a detriment in that respect, because if you look at it, with Braun being the head honcho in the NBA, the ratings have gone low and low for a dude to be better than Michael Jordan, to be the quote unquote GOAT. The aspect that comes along with that is attention, is admiration, and LeBron does get attention and admiration, but it's so polarizing. It turns off a lot of people, that a lot of people really ain't tuning in to watch the dude. To be honest with you, a lot of people are not. And then his style of play, or his style of wanting to quote unquote compete, turns off people, because it's like, dude, you just want to get all the best players on your team, and then you want all the odds to be in your favor, and then you just trample over another. It's like you don't want to go, you want to run away from the grind, and that's what sports is about. Getting to that grind. That's why we like watching sports. We like to see guys overcome certain obstacles and have to do things to get to that mountaintop. It's like when you just get it from jumping from team to team and being able to orchestrate the team or the guys you want around you. It's like, you won, you cool, you got your little fan base or whatever, but in a sense is unorganic. I think it's the word. Was it inorganic? Inorganic is the right word. It's inorganic, and it really turns off a lot of people.
Trying to do this. Why not? See, but here's the thing, though, Rob. Here's the thing. What we're acting like, if this is the first time, like LeBron James, Bronny, JJ Redick, and Rob Pelinka started this. Let me ask you a question.
I'm sorry, I'm not trying to pause it too much, but this gives me a chance to go ahead, chime in with my Bronny take. See, my issue is that it's not the first time that this has happened. We're not saying that, or people aren't saying that this is the first time that this has happened, but we have to consider the circumstances that are around it. Like, so many people, especially Chris Broussard here, want to be so concerned with the race aspect, where they bring up, oh man, white people have been doing this forever. They should be able to continue to. I mean, we as black people should be able to do this, and it should be none because white people do it. But we have to stop comparing and juxtaposing every move that we make to white people. Black people really make white people their god in this sense, where everything that we do has to be compared to what these people do, man. And if what they do is wrong, then why do we want to combat that with doing quote unquote wrong, and doing that is wrong? And I don't even think nepotism is good nor bad. If you someone who has your own company and you want to hire your son, your daughter to be a part of that company, and over time to overtake it, yes, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be in favor of your own. That is how we're wired. That is how you should operate. There's nothing wrong with LeBron, wanting the best and wanting to put his children in positions to succeed. But the thing is, now when it comes to this um event, we have to contextualize it now. One, Bronny is nowhere near ready to be in the NBA. Two, the man had a heart attack, a cardiac arrest. And when scouts, when they're looking at considering getting dudes, they look at health issues that can be a case. And something as traumatizing as a heart condition, there a lot of dudes, a lot of scouts are going to say a no on that, especially if you haven't really produced at the college level where they can possibly maybe take that gamble on you. Sports is supposed to be um a merit based industry where you get in based off of how you perform on the court, on the field, on the diamond. And Bronny has shown that. Of course, Bronny gonna get into certain positions because that's who his dad is. But people acting like Bronny wasn't gonna be straight without him being in the NBA or something. Like, LeBron is a billionaire, right? Like, Bronny was set already. The man already has a net worth of $1 million, maybe over somewhere over $1 million, just by being his son. So he already set up for greatness already. But we already know that him being here is all for LeBron's legacy. LeBron just wanted to do something that's for himself. He's always in this constant war with wanting to be the GOAT. And he know he's not going to get it on the court. He can't get it based off of merit alone, off of wins. He know he's not going to be looked at that way. He know the only way he can get it is by stats, it's by off the court shit, and about doing things that no one has ever done in history, which is, in this case, playing with your son. No one in NBA history has ever played with their son. But the thing is, it's like he's forcing it. He's forcing it, and that's the problem that people have. And he's doing this on the Lakers, which is supposed to be this historic franchise that's all about winning. But since LeBron came there, it's been nothing but a circus show. Nothing but tomfoolery. The only time they won was in the damn bubble in the fucking pandemic. That Mickey Mouse championship. But don't no one take that for real serious. One of the lowest rated NBA finals. And people, you would think that with everything being shut off, with everything being quarantined during that time, where we could have had something to distract us from everything that was going on in the world. You would think the NBA finals at that time would have a lot of viewership during that time. But no, it didn't. It was one of the lowest viewed finals of all time. And you had the quote unquote GOAT in that finals. The lowest viewed of all. Come on, man. Come on. Come on, man. But yeah, man. Let's get back to it.
All due respect, with the Nazis under the Kumbo being in Milwaukee, if Giannis wasn't there? No, but he was. But hold on, he was drafted by the Knicks before Giannis. Come on. No, but no. The way he came in is not the same, though.
And people be on Giannis ass just as much. People be on that man ass. People be on that man ass, bro. They do not. They got whole compilation takes of him being sucking and saying he only here because his damn brother. So let's not act as if he's not getting no quote unquote hate because he is. So the same type of, if you want to call it vitriol that Giannis is getting, Bronny and LeBron are going to get it also. So let's not try to justify what they're doing just because, like, this is what the LeBron argument is always about. Anytime it's something with LeBron, like, he can never be in the wrong. So anytime LeBron does something, it's not, okay, let's criticize what he do and talk about what he can do be better. It's like, let's compare it to somebody else that did it. So he can shoot somebody, but it's like, well, other people shoot other people too. So I mean, what we gonna do about that? And then it's like now we at this stalemate because now we just saying that well he just do stuff that other people do. No, let's just talk about what he is doing in this vacuum right now, and let's just talk about the context around it, and let's just have the conversation around that, not around all these other issues that have nothing to do with what he's doing. Yes, the situation is similar, but it's not exactly the same. It's a little different. It's a little different. It's a little different. So let's bring up those differences and let's keep it straight on the point.
It's not the same. But we're not talking about the way he came in. No, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about is the way Bronny came in. Give me another guy with 4 points at a poor USC school, right? Who's got a 2-year fully guaranteed contract. Tell me, who's an undersized guard who doesn't shoot well? Tell me. So listen, here's the thing.
But Rob on his ass, AD. Rob on his ass.
Number one, Bronny being drafted 55th, I'm not tripping on it. Because realistically, this isn't simply a Los Angeles Lakers thing. The fact that Rich Paul had to call teams and tell them that they drafted Bronny, that he wasn't going, lets you know that there were teams that were interested in drafting Bronny.
No, it don't, bro. That is so foolish. The reason why he did that was one, to make sure that he went to the Lakers, because this is a whole ploy so he can play with his dad. That is the thing. He didn't want anyone else to come. Well, I'll say this because I don't know for sure. I can't speak so declaratively about what's going on, but it's one of two things. One, he really wanted to make sure Bronny got to the Lakers without any other team trying to interfere and trying to sabotage. Because a lot of people don't fuck with the Lakers. I'm sure a lot of people don't fuck with Bron either. So people can do that and just get in the way of doing that. So he wanted to make sure nobody was going to interfere with it. And two, it just shows you that they wanted Bronny to play with his dad. It's not about Bronny just making it to the NBA and just having his own career path. No, this is all about LeBron's legacy.
Yeah, okay. I'll believe that when I see it. I don't buy it. But here's the thing. There's also a guy that was drafted first round that averaged 2.5 points a game. Look at the number one pick in the draft. Look at what he did. So for If LeBron wasn't on this team, Antonio, would he be on the Lakers? Probably not. No, not probably not. How could you say probably not? Just say it. I'm asking you. He wouldn't be on this team. You know it. Everybody knows it. Hold on. But I will tell you this. I'm comfortable saying that if LeBron wasn't on the Lakers, that Bronny wouldn't be on the Lakers. But I'm not comfortable saying that if LeBron wasn't on the Lakers, Bronny wouldn't have got drafted. I don't believe he would have been drafted. And that's the thing is that Rob Parker's opinion. No way.
Yes, and what you said is your opinion as well, Antonio Daniels. The same thing you said for him, it applies to you as well, sir. And this is my opinion as well. But there's enough substantial evidence that shows Bronny would not have got drafted. He would not have gotten drafted. Again, as I stated earlier, the health issues, that would have been a red flag to the very subpar career he had at USC. Very poor team. Like, he could have at least been a good player that showed out on a terrible team and just stat padded his way through it like his dad. He ain't even stat pad. He ain't even had the ability to stat pad. Like, come on now. They comparing this dude to Julius Randle, Marcus Smart. Like, he may be one of these type of, like, that's how low the bar is for this guy. And those and no shame on no guys. For those are really good players. Marcus Smart and Drew, very good players, very very good. But they compare him to those, like, just that they compare him to role players. Essentially, it's them saying that he's either going to be a role player or bust. Like, the ceiling is no higher than a role player. You know what I mean? Like, that's pretty much where they setting him at.
And I get it. And I'm just saying, given the way this thing was orchestrated and the whole way that this laid out, it's unfair to even Bronny. Let the kid do it on his own. If they wanted to draft him and he get into the NBA or whatever, that's fine. The way that they've done this and put it out there, LeBron tweeting that he's better than half the league. You remember that? You remember that, Antonio? And that.
No, don't even. You can't downplay that. See, and this is what these LeBron fanboys do, dog. Trying to downplay the things that LeBron do. Like, no, you can't put something out there saying that, oh man, Bronny, he's better than half these dudes out there. LeBron said something to that effect. I'm watching the game right now, and Bronny, he can come out here and be on somebody's starting team, like. But then when he playing terrible as fuck, when he's getting all this backlash, now you want to come and act like you the concerned parent, saying, "Man, why y'all doing this to this kid, bro? You putting it out there for him to get like that. Like, you're not allowing this man to get it out the mud." There are other superstars that have sons. You know what I mean? They have sons, and sometimes they make it, sometimes they don't. But what we do see is that even with their name, if they're not good enough, they don't make the league. Now, sometimes, again, if they need a little help, maybe if it's a franchise player, then yeah, maybe and he's good and he's actually producing for that franchise, then yeah, they may bring that his child. Well, I don't know, not even his child. I wouldn't even say that, not even his child, because I'm thinking more so his brother or something, somebody's sibling. But no, not their child, not their child. Because by the time that a superstar has a child that's able to get into the league, they're well either retired or they're just some role player at that point. Like a second or third option coming off the bench. LeBron, allegedly, with the PED use, allegedly, he's able to put up the facade that he's still a top 10, 15 player in the league right now, which he is not. The the Lakers record, their poor playoffs performance, always in the play-in, that pretty much shows that they're not serious. They're not in any avenue of winning. I'm about done with this video. There's nothing more that they're really going to go into in this video, but for the most part, I agree with Rob when it comes to this whole Bronny situation. I don't agree with how he got to some of the, some of the his evidence he used to get to it. But with his overall sentiment, I agree with Rob that this is a bad look by the Lakers. Of course, they're gonna make it a big production when he officially does get on that floor with LeBron, and they're gonna be like LeBron and Bronny on the floor together, first time ever happening. They're gonna make this big thing about it. We already know how it's gonna go. Big LA production. They're in Hollywood, right? They're gonna make a documentary about it, probably. Who knows? But all these racial conversation, like it's America. You already know these things are gonna come up, but I just wish people would keep things in their proper context when it comes to having conversations, because when that when we get into these racial topics in these things, the the premise, what the actual subject, it starts to get lost in emotions and different rhetorics, and it just get lost, and we really can't get down to the bottom of it. We can't get to the truth. We have all these ancillary ideologies and emotions that come into play. But we gonna see when this next season come about how this gonna play out. In my opinion, as I said, it's a shit show. It's gonna be a circus. The Lakers have become a circus since LeBron has got there. It's not about winning anymore. It's all about the Hollywood production. LeBron and his co-stars, Anthony Davis and the rest of them, with his concubine Jenny Buss and and the snake Rob Pelinka. Down, down, down. What a world! What a world! But we're gonna see how interesting this new NBA season gonna be. I'm ready for it. All right, man. I appreciate y'all for listening to Unfiltered Perspective. Peace.